I know this, my position on unions has made leftists, for the most part, very angry and aggravated at me. And, I'm always going to double down because when I'm right, I'm right. But now things are getting even more, say, interesting. Reported by Deadline, SAG-AFTRA gears up for possible strike against video game industry as board approves authorization vote by guild membership. So they've been on strike against film and scripted TV production since July 14th. They're now gearing up for another possible strike. This one is against the video game industry. The guild last struck in 2016, and that lasted 183 days. I don't even remember that, to be honest. The guild's national board has voted unanimously to send a strike authorization vote to members in preparation for its upcoming bargaining dates with 10 signatory video game companies. Voting for the strike authorization will begin on September the 5th. So we got a few days, and it's going to end on the 25th. Now, the companies that are involved, here's the 10 companies. You have Activision, Blindsight, EA, Epic, Disney, Insomniac, Take-Two, VoiceWorks, and WB Games that are all going to be impacted by this. We all want a fair contract that reflects the important contributions of the represented performers in an industry that delivers world-class entertainment to billions of players around the world. It has been nearly a year since SAG-AFTRA video game contract. The interactive media agreement was extended beyond the original expiration date. So key issues like wages. So they want wages that keep up with inflation. Boy, wouldn't it be awesome if people understood what the hell inflation was and why it is. And protections against unrestrained use of AI. So AI, that thing is, again, coming up. They know that that's going to mean less money for them if companies, producers of games, doesn't matter what it is, movies, are participating in that technology. There's going to be less use for people like themselves. Sticking points in negotiations. The interactive media video game agreement is a separate contract from TV. So this is why, and theatrical and streaming contracts. So all, I guess, writers nonetheless work under the video game contract includes a great deal of performance capture where trained professionals, many of whom are stunt performers, provide digitally captured, talking about mocap, I guess, expressive movement to video games, characters. Unregulated use of AI poses an enormous threat to artists. So it's a lot similar to SAG-AFTRA and their gripes with the industry. Look, I don't know where this is going to go. I do think Hollywood is going to fundamentally change. Filmmaking is going to fundamentally change with writers as well as actors. I think it's going to be a lot more decentralized. Video games are very interesting because it seems to, outside of these, like, I guess you call them AAA companies, there's been a big indie presence there already. Massive, actually, and it's growing. So does this incentivize that industry to grow even faster? And look, I do believe that these guys have tricked themselves with the structure and the familiarity that has existed for a very long time. And it's not just with this whole AI thing. It's more with just internet in general and just us being connected and means being decentralized to create. That's going to create a lot of challenges for people that have kind of gone along with the status quo. And the quicker that they realize that, the better. Unions aren't going to save you. You're probably not going to get it. Look, it's a match made in hell for some of you. I think video games is less, though. I think for the video games companies, there's people that are non-union workers that are probably dying to get work right now. And I don't know if that's gonna hold like it's like the actors and actresses or writers are with Hollywood. I think they have less of a presence there. I don't want to say less of a presence. Let's say impact. Doesn't mean that they aren't there. Of course they are, but I think there's a lot. The pool's a little bigger. Let's say that. So here we go. Let's see if it gets interesting and if they strike too. I'm more interested in what happens out of that. How do the producers here act? And any position outside of kissing the ass of the union, people are going to say you're pro megacorp when that's just simply not true. The people that are pro megacorp are the unions because they are the ones begging to be embraced and accepted and for said conditions, instead of all of these geniuses doing it themselves, creating their own studios, and being part of the change it is that they think needs to be in the industry. Instead, they're going to the people with all the money and they're asking or begging them to change. So we'll see what happens out of this. It's going to be interesting nonetheless.